What if I told you that a community with no tractors, no chemical fertilizers, and no modern technology consistently pulls 100 pounds of potatoes from a patch of ground smaller than a parking space? Not once. Not by accident. Every single season, year after year, for generations. Most people plant potatoes and walk away with maybe 20 or 30 pounds if they are lucky, scratching their heads wondering what went wrong. The Amish figured out what went wrong a long time ago, and the answer has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with understanding how a potato plant actually thinks. If you stay until the end of this video, you are going to see exactly why everything the mainstream gardening world teaches about growing potatoes is leaving you with a fraction of what your ground is actually capable of producing. This is the method that fed entire families through brutal Pennsylvania winters without a single trip to the grocery store. And it works just as well in your backyard today as it did 200 years ago. By the end of this video, you will know the complete step-by-step Amish potato tower method that turns 4 square feet of ground into 100 pounds of harvest. Here is the single biggest mistake almost every home gardener makes with potatoes. They treat the ground like a ceiling instead of a floor. They plant their seed potato down in a shallow trench, let the plant grow upward, and collect whatever forms in that one small zone around where the seed sat. One layer of production, one chance, one disappointing harvest. The Amish never saw it that way because they understood something about potato biology that changes everything. A potato plant does not only produce tubers beneath the seed, it produces tubers anywhere along its underground stem. Every inch of buried stem is a potential potato factory. So the question becomes simple. How do you create more underground stem? You build upward, and you keep burying it. The structure itself is almost embarrassingly simple. You are building a frame that sits on a 4-foot by 4-foot base. Some people use old wooden boards nailed into a box. Some use a cylinder of wire fencing bent into shape and tied closed. Either works. The inside of that frame gets lined with bundled straw packed thick enough to hold soil, but loose enough that roots can breathe through it. That straw is doing 3 jobs at once, and all 3 of them matter enormously. It insulates the root zone against summer heat, because potato tubers slow down and stop forming when the soil gets too warm. It retains moisture so your watering goes further and lasts longer. And it suppresses weeds so completely that in 4 square feet you will barely pull a single one all season long. Before you ever build that frame, though, the soil you fill it with is what separates a 100-pound harvest from a 30-pound one. The Amish built their soil the same way every year, and it cost them nothing, because everything they needed was already on the farm. Composted manure from horses and cows that had been sitting in a pile near the barn all winter long, breaking down until it looked and smelled like dark, rich earth rather than anything that came from an animal. Fresh manure burns plants because the nitrogen is too concentrated and too volatile. Aged composted manure releases nutrients slowly over the entire growing season, feeding the beneficial microbes that make your soil alive and productive. They also added wood ash saved from the wood stove all winter in a dry metal container. Wood ash is loaded with potassium and calcium, the 2 nutrients most critical for potato development. Potassium drives the formation of those large, starchy tubers. Calcium strengthens cell walls and helps the plant fight off disease. You are building a complete feeding system into your soil before a single potato touches the ground. Seed selection is where most beginners make a quiet error that costs them the entire harvest. Early season varieties like Yukon Gold set their tubers once near the base of the plant and stop. They are done. They are not designed to keep producing up along a continuously buried stem. For this method to work, you need a late-season variety, one that keeps setting new tubers as the stem grows. Classic options that are still widely available include Katahdin, which performs exceptionally well across the Northeast, and Kennebec, an all-purpose late-season variety that has been trusted by serious growers for decades. These are the varieties that keep producing floor after floor in your underground potato tower. About 3 to 4 weeks before your planting date, pull your seed potatoes out of storage and set them in a cool, bright room. Not in direct sunlight, just a well-lit, airy space. The eyes will begin to sprout. Short, compact, strong little nubs, about half an inch long. This process is called chitting, and it gives your plant a head start the moment it contacts soil. Plants from chitted seed potatoes emerge faster and establish more aggressively than those planted dormant. 2 days before planting, cut your seed pieces with a clean, sharp knife so each piece carries at least 2 or 3 eyes, and let the cut surfaces dry and callus over completely. That hardened surface is your protection against rot in the ground. Add your first 6 inches of the compost and soil mixture to the base of your structure. Lay your chitted seed pieces on top, spaced 8 to 10 inches apart from each other in every direction. Cover them with another 5 to 6 inches of your soil mix and water it deeply and slowly. Shallow watering does nothing for tubers forming several inches below the surface. When you water thoroughly, and you let it penetrate every layer. Now comes the part that is genuinely difficult for new gardeners, because it goes against instinct. When those green vines push up through the soil and grow to about 10 or 12 inches tall, you bury them. You add a new layer of straw and compost mixture right over those vines, leaving only the top 3 or 4 inches of green growth above the surface. Below the soil, every inch of that newly buried stem immediately begins putting out root structures and new potato formation sites. The plant responds to the deeper burial by setting another entire floor of tubers along the newly covered stem. You repeat this every time the vines climb 10 to 12 inches. A full tower over a complete growing season will see 4 or 5 of these layering cycles, building the structure up to 3 or even 4 feet tall on that same 4-foot base footprint. Watch your leaves throughout the season. Pale green or yellowing foliage is your plant telling you nitrogen is running low. A top dressing of fresh compost worked gently into the surface layer is all you need. No bags of fertilizer. No additives. Just real organic matter doing what it has always done. When the vines begin to die back naturally, turning yellow and brown and tired-looking, that is not a problem. That is the signal. The plant has finished its work above ground and pushed everything it had into those tubers below. Tip the wire cage over or remove the lower boards of your box structure one by one and work through the straw by hand. What comes out of that 4 square foot footprint will change how you think about growing food permanently. Layer after layer of potatoes from the bottom of the structure all the way to the top. A properly built and managed tower in a good season produces 80 to over 100 pounds from a space you could cover with a single sheet of plywood. The ground does not care how modern your tools are, it only responds to how well you understand it. 4 square feet and the right knowledge is all it takes to feed your family through an entire winter. Now you have that knowledge. Use it.